It's scary to be out there homeless.
We were all productive at one point, most of us, in our lives, most of the people my age, and there's a lot of people my age in my age group out there on the streets right now that shouldn't be out there.
I think people should know that homelessness is a complex issue, and every individual that is homeless, they have their own story that has led them there, and their own complexities. And I think it's important to remember that it's something that can affect any of us. With every person that is homeless, there's a family member, there's a friend, there's people that are affected by it.
I've been homeless for about 3 years. I believe that homelessness has a great deal to do with the cost of living and with safety, finding a safe home for you to go to live with no barriers, no problems concerning health issues, being safe, having nobody around that's going to hurt you or is selling drugs or is in illegal activity is huge for a person looking for housing, especially if they've been homeless, because they are so easily adaptable to falling back into that circumstance for themselves, especially if they've come from that area of life.
I think something that's important for us to think about when it comes to homelessness is people wind up homeless for a variety of reasons. Sometimes they've had a really traumatic childhood, mental health issues, struggle with substance use. And I think we really need to understand those issues and why someone became homeless and sort of break down some of the stereotypes that we have if we're really going to come up with solutions that matter for people.
I think they're imprisoned in their own minds.
I think what people need to know about homelessness is that people are innately good and that they want meaning and purpose in their lives no matter who they are. And that homelessness is really a systemic issue, and though sometimes people say they choose to be homeless, I think it's a choice which is the lesser of many evils.
And most of the people out there are suffering from mental illness and addictions. And unfortunately, the people who are homeless and living out on the streets, once they find a safe place within a matter of time, and as soon as people start noticing where they are and finding out where they are, the police usually move in, and there's been some incidents recently where they go in and they clear out the encampment, they toss everything into dumpsters and send people on their way. Well, that's their lives and that's their possessions.
One thing about being in prison in your mind, like I said before, suicide. I think that loneliness is the coldest gun that you can have.
What can we do about it? I think a good starting point is being empathetic to individuals who are homeless. I think about all the times you see individuals at the corner of the street who might be looking for money, and it's so easy to avert our gaze and to look away, and in a way I think we dehumanize people when we do that, and I think it's important to express empathy and build connections with people. I think it's something that we need to do better as a community as a whole with all the individuals in the community, but especially those that are struggling with many different mental illnesses and lack of a house and a lot of different things that they have to deal with.
I think homeless people should be noticed for what they are, and know that they aren't bad people, that they had a bad somewhere along the line during their life, they've been tossed like away from the direct path that most people follow.
I think we can prioritize affordable housing in a way that makes it actually affordable for people.
Yeah, if you see somebody on the street homeless, just say hi to them. You know, ask them how their day is going.
I currently am part of the SOS program through the Good Shepherd at Mary's Place. I believe that a housing allowance benefit is a huge help to people who are homeless and who are on low income. I believe that having a housing worker is an added help to a person's life, especially when you're homeless and you're dealing with all that stress of being homeless, not knowing where to sleep, sleeping in and out of shelters, not being able to get in a shelter. Housing worker helps with all those different things.
What we can do, and what I do, and I taught my children and they're teaching their children, is just stop. When you see someone in that position, don't stand there and judge them. Stop, go talk to them. You know, maybe you have something they need. Sometimes, and a lot of times I find it's just a kind word. It's somebody to talk to for a few minutes. If I have money in my pocket, and I will give what I have, because I know when I go home I'll have more. We need to start communicating better with the disadvantaged, and maybe they wouldn't be so disadvantaged, because a lot of them, that's all they need. They need some encouragement. They need to know that, you know, people look at them not as bums, and that's still a word that's, and I hear so many derogatory comments. Actually, I'll just give one incident. There's a fellow who sits on James Street in front of a store with his little dog, and very polite, very well mannered, very appreciative of what people do for him, and I've helped him out a number of times, and a lot of the guys from the house that I go for support do also. And last week I saw him, and he was so thrilled. He got somebody to watch his dog. The man across the street that owned the house across the street gave him work at night, and he was so appreciative. But that same day, he had a lady walk up to him and spit in his face and call him all the names you can think of for a homeless person and a bum, and he's not that. He just, you know, he has mental health issues, he has addiction issues, but he sits there, and like I say, he's polite and he's well mannered, and he doesn't cause a problem, and he didn't understand. Like, he saw both sides of the world that day, you know.
I think really I would like people to be empathetic to people who are experiencing homelessness, and to really try to understand the circumstances that they face rather than judge them.
They should be treated like a citizen, and people that look down at them, I think they're worse off than they are.
And the last couple of days, actually, I haven't seen him sitting out there. So, you know, maybe he has found a place finally where he's not on the streets anymore. And that's what we need to do. We need to recognize the fact that these are human beings, and at any point in time, it could be you. And that's all I have to say about that.